Hello everybody and welcome back to my Pokemon story, and I want to thank two of my friends for subscribing me this past few days. I've been trying to get people to really look at this, so try to get as many people as you can to look at my story. I would really appreciate it. Alright, so let's get into it. Catch them all. We were awoken by a couple of bangs that shook the building. We ran outside to see Nurse Jan and Wigglytuff trying to stop the two kids from fighting. The one kid was dark and had a black jacket on with jeans. He had a hat with sunglasses on as well. In front of him was a Dartini. The other kid looked mad and he had a Spearow in front of him, shouting, "I will never join you." The other kid said, "Look, take it easy." Nurse Jan yelled, "Both of you, stop it and take it elsewhere." The boy with the Spearow just stopped and walked away, bumping into the other kid. Nurse Jan angrily went back inside with the Wigglytuff. We walked over to the other kid and I asked, "Are you okay?" The kid said, "Yeah, I'm fine." Trey asked, "What was the kid talking about?" The kid shrugged his shoulders and said, "I don't know." Jordan looked at his Dartini and said, "Oh, how cute. What is it?" I said, "That's a good question," as I pulled out my Pokedex, and it said Dartini, the dragon Pokemon. Long considered a mythical Pokemon until recently when a small colony was found living underwater. The kid said, "Thanks, this is my buddy." Trey asked, "Hey, where did Terrence go?" The kid said, "Well, I have to go. Good luck to you." I asked, "Wait, what's your name?" He said, "Jerry." He returned his Pokemon and ran off. Jordan said, "What a weird kid. Terrence is sleeping." I said, "How did none of that banging noise wake him up?" Terrence came out at that time with his slowpoke yawning, asking, "What's going on?" wiping his eyes. Trey asked shockingly, "You didn't hear none of that?" Terrence shook his head and said, "Nope." Jordan shook her head and smiled and said, "Pokemon like owner, huh?" Me and Trey laughed. Terrence didn't care. Jordan said, "So, I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to catch some Pokemon." Trey balled his fist up and said, "Me too, let's go." Jordan looked at us and said, "See if you can keep up." She chose out Oddish and started running. Trey chose out Charmander and started to run. Me and Terrence looked at each other. I chose out Eevee and we started to run after them. Terrence chose out Slowpoke and started to drag his tail, saying, "Come on, let's go." I caught up to Trey. We were both out of breath. Jordan was in front of us, just running with Oddish. Trey, huffing, said, "I wish we could stop." I said, "Me too." All of a sudden, Jordan stopped right in front of us. We had to put the brakes on and we stopped right behind her, trying to catch our breath. That's when we saw Terrence running at full speed, trying to catch up with us with Slowpoke. He ran right into us. We fell on top of Jordan. Jordan annoyed, saying, "Get off of me." We all got up and brushed ourselves off. Trey was mad. "Why did you stop right in front of us?" Jordan pointed and said, "Look, that's looks like a good place to catch Pokemon." She was pointing to a lake with a forest around it. We could see a bunch of Pokemon around the area. Jordan saw an Eevee getting a drink. Jordan said, "Perfect, I'll catch it." "Trey, I'm looking for one too." I looked at him and said, "I bet I will catch one before first." Trey said, "Bet," and we both took off. Terrence said, "I guess I'll start breakfast." Jordan approached the Eevee quietly, but it saw her. The wild Eevee looked at her with big eyes. Jordan, "Aw, how cute." She put her hand down for the Eevee to smell it. The wild Eevee started to growl at her. Jordan said, "So it's going to be the hard way. Let's go, Oddish. Use Sweet Scent. Go." The Oddish used Sand Attack to block the attack. Then it jumped up to use Bite. Jordan said, "Oddish, dodge it now and use Absorb. Go." Oddish did the attack, but with very little effect. The Eevee used Scratch Attack on Oddish, and then it started to run. Jordan said, "Oh, no, you don't. Oddish, use Sleeping Powder. Go." The Oddish jumped over the wild Eevee using Sleeping Powder, and the Eevee fell to sleep. Jordan took out a Pokeball and threw it. The Pokeball caught the Eevee inside. Jordan waited as the ball shook once, then twice, then a third time, before it settled. Jordan picked up the ball and said, "Yes, I caught an Eevee." As she jumped up in the air with the Oddish, she chose out Butterfree and said, "Let's meet our new friend, you guys. Let's go, Eevee." She chose out the Eevee to meet her Pokemon. Jordan took all three of the Pokemon to Terrence to go eat. I stayed by the lake and chose out Tentacle. I said, "Tentacle, go catch me the first Pokemon you see." Tentacle nodded and went into the water. Terrence asked Jordan if she could watch everything so he could go catch a Pokemon. I sat by the lake waiting for Tentacle as Trey still looked for more Pokemon. Terrence was walking in the tall grass when he tripped over something. Terrence yelled, "Dang, that hurt!" As he turned back to look, he saw a Rhyhorn hurt. Terrence yelled, "Guys, quick! Come quick!" Me and Jordan and Trey ran over to him. Terrence said, "Help me, get him out." We tied ropes around the Rhyhorn as we tried to pull him out with the Pokemon help, of course. The Rhyhorn had a bruise on one of its knees. Jordan said, "Think, I have a potion in my purse somewhere." Jordan ran to go get it. Terrence said, "Hey guys, help me carry him to the food." Me and Trey lifted one side of it as Terrence got in front. The Rhyhorn was really heavy. We could barely pick it up. We managed to carry it to the place. Terrence set up breakfast. We put the Rhyhorn down as Jordan sprayed the potion on its knee. Terrence got back to cooking. I noticed that the water started moving as something came flying out. It was a Magikarp. I said, "Perfect." It was flopping all over the ground. I said, "Good job, Tentacle. Now go play." Tentacle swam off and splashed around in the water. I took a Pokeball and threw it at the Magikarp. As it went inside and caught it, I picked up the ball and put it in my pocket. Trey looked at me and said, "I heard that fish was worthless. Why would you catch it?" I looked at Trey and said, "Number one, it doesn't matter what it starts from, it's where it finishes. And don't be mad because I caught a Pokemon before you." Trey said, "Pshh, that thing doesn't count." I said, "Whatever you say." Terrence started calling breakfast is done. I could feel my stomach growl, so was Eevee's. Trey said, "I'm not eating till I catch a Pokemon." "Who's that Pokemon?" "It's Mankey." I went to the water and called for Tentacle. Tentacle jumped out the water and into my arms. Eevee was on my shoulder. I took them to the table. I saw the Rhyhorn had a bandage around its knee. Terrence said, "I made plenty of food. Take your Pokemon out." I saw all of Jordan and Terrence's Pokemon eating. I said, "Okay, let's go, everybody." Weepinbell and Magikarp came out as they started eating. I sat down, and all I could smell was the food. Bacon and toast. It filled the air. Jordan said, "I haven't tried Terrence's food yet." I looked at her and said, "Well, then you're in luck." Jordan's eyes opened and said, "Is it really that good?" Terrence said, "Well, it's okay, I guess." Jordan took a bite and her whole face lit up. As she said, "Terrence, what are you talking about? This is amazing." I said, "I told you." With a stuffed face, Terrence sat down to eat. Terrence took a bite and said, "I have to admit, this is really good." Jordan looked at Terrence and said, "I think me and you will become good friends." Terrence laughed and said, "Why?" Jordan said, "Because if there is anything I love more, it's food." Me and Terrence started laughing. Eevee climbed up in my lap. He was full, I could tell, because he fell asleep. I started petting him. Butterfree landed on Jordan's head. Oddish climbed in Jordan's arms, and her Eevee rubbed against her leg. Trey was still looking for Pokemon. I said, "Trey, come on and eat." Jordan said, "And let your Pokemon eat." Terrence said, "Yeah, there is plenty more." Trey looked upset, and he said, "Okay, whatever." He chose out his Pokemon so they could eat. Trey sat down. He grabbed a plate and leaned towards the tree behind him. We all watched, trying not to laugh. Trey was about to put a piece of bacon in his mouth when a little hand reached down and grabbed it. Trey looked so confused as it jumped on its head and onto the table, eating the rest of his food. We all started laughing. Trey got mad. "It's not funny," as he pulled out his Pokedex. The Pokedex said, "Mankey, the pig monkey Pokemon. These Pokemon have been known to make fun and take advantage over dumb trainers." Me and Jordan and Terrence laughed even harder. Trey was steamed. "I'll show this Pokemon dumb. Let's go, Charmander." Charmander ran in front of Trey. The Mankey hopped off the table and onto the ground, and it got angry. Trey yelled, "Okay, Charmander, let's go. You scratch, go." Charmander ran at Monkey. The Mankey jumped over Charmander and did Fury Swipes. It was a direct hit as Charmander had scratch marks on his face. The Mankey started laughing. Trey pointed and said, "Charmander, use Ember now." Charmander took a deep breath, but this time it was more than just a few sparks. It was a fire blast. Charmander was shocked. We were shocked. Even Trey was shocked. The Minky was burnt as it fell. Trey quickly threw his Pokeball at it. He caught it immediately. Trey picked up the Pokeball and said, "Yeah, I caught it." Trey came and sat back down with the rest of us. I said, "Well, I guess we all did good today." Terrence said, "Well, I say we pack up and let's go." We started cleaning up. Jordan asked, "What are we going to do about the Rhyhorn?" Trey said, "I say we battle for it." I shook my head and said, "Why don't we let Terrence have him? He found him. He found him." Terrence said, "Or we can let Rhyhorn decide." Terrence looked at Rhyhorn and asked, "Would you like to come with me?" The Rhyhorn licked Terrence's face. Terrence smiled and took out a Pokeball and pressed it against Rhyhorn, and Rhyhorn went into the ball. We all started walking again, bellies full, a new Pokemon in our pockets. After a while, we came across a sign that said Pewter City up ahead. Under was a contest sign saying register at the local Pokemon Center. Jordan said, "I've always wanted to do a contest." I said, "And me and Trey can challenge the gym leader." Jordan got excited. "Let's go to the Pokemon Center now. Come on. Come on." Terrence said, "We aren't going to run again, are we?" Trey said, "I'm not." I looked at Jordan and said, "I'm not either." Jordan said, "You guys are no fun." We started walking up a little farther when Jordan asked, "Can we get a pic with our Pokemon?" We looked at each other and shrugged our shoulders. And here's the end of my story. So as you can see, Magikarp has been added to my roster. Trey got Mankey. Terrence got Rhyhorn. And Jordan got Eevee. So what will happen next in the Pokemon story? Stay tuned and figure out.